Have you ever noticed what happens when you stop engaging with someone, particularly someone who's used to your attention? It's fascinating how human dynamics shift when we create space. Today, I want to get into the subtle but powerful changes that occur when you stop talking to a man. What does he do? How does he react? And most importantly, how does it impact you? Here's the thing, when you pull back your energy, people feel it. It's not about playing games or manipulation, it's about understanding how energy works in relationships. Men are no exception to this. They notice when you stop reaching out, stop explaining, stop filling the silence. For many, it's a wake-up call. When you stop talking to a man, you shift the dynamics. In most cases, men operate on patterns. They get comfortable with the rhythm of your communication, whether it's frequent texts, calls, or conversations. When that rhythm stops, it disrupts their expectations. Suddenly, there's a gap, a void where your energy used to be. This void creates an opportunity for reflection. A man may begin to question what caused the shift. Was it something he said? Something he didn't say? It's in this space of silence that he starts to assess his actions, his behavior, and his priorities. Often, men aren't as introspective as women in the moment, but silence has a way of nudging them into self-awareness. For some men, this silence might feel like rejection, and they'll respond by trying to re-establish contact. They might text you, call you, or even show up unexpectedly. Why? Because they're looking for clarity, reassurance, or a way to regain the sense of balance they once felt in the connection. For others, the silence might trigger their defense mechanisms. Instead of reaching out, they might retreat further, unsure of how to handle the situation. This isn't necessarily about you, it's about their own unresolved fears or insecurities. But let's talk about what happens to you when you stop talking to a man. This is where the real power lies. When you pull back, you reclaim your energy. You step out of the cycle of overgiving or over-explaining and start focusing on yourself. You create room for your own thoughts, feelings, and growth. This isn't about punishing anyone. It's about creating a healthy boundary. It's about recognizing that your value doesn't lie in how much you chase or how often you reach out. It's about understanding that silence can be a tool for clarity, not just for the other person, but for you as well. In some cases, silence reveals the true nature of the relationship. If a man truly values you, he'll make an effort to bridge the gap. If he doesn't, then his lack of action speaks volumes. Either way, you gain insight into where you stand and what you mean to him. The beauty of silence is that it's not confrontational. It's not about arguing, blaming, or proving a point. It's about stepping back and allowing space for truth to emerge. And in that space, you often find the answers you've been seeking. Sometimes, when you stop talking, a man might respond with confusion or frustration. He may even accuse you of being distant or cold. But recall, this isn't about him. It's about creating room for mutual respect and understanding. If he can't handle a little silence, then it's worth questioning the foundation of your connection. On the other hand, silence can deepen respect. When you show that you're not dependent on constant communication to feel secure, it signals strength and self-assurance. These are qualities that not only command respect but also inspire admiration. It's important to note that silence doesn't mean you're ignoring or avoiding someone. It's about being intentional with your energy. Instead of pouring everything into another person, you redirect it toward yourself. You focus on your passions, your growth, and your well-being. In this process, you might find that you're less anxious, less reactive, and more grounded. You start to see the bigger picture. You begin to understand that relationships aren't about constant validation, they're about connection, balance, and mutual respect. A man's reaction to your silence often reveals his emotional capacity. Some men are mature enough to reflect and respond with understanding. They'll approach you with curiosity, wanting to know how they can improve the relationship. Others may react with defensiveness or withdrawal, which can be a sign of deeper issues that need addressing. This isn't about testing someone or manipulating their behavior. It's about prioritizing yourself and allowing the relationship to evolve, or dissolve, naturally. When you stop talking to a man, you're giving him a chance to step up. To show his commitment. To demonstrate that he values your presence. And if he doesn't, then you're better off knowing that now rather than later. Ultimately, silence is a form of self-respect. It's a way of saying, I'm not here to chase or convince. I'm here to be valued and respected. And when you operate from that place of strength, you attract relationships that align with your worth. When you stop engaging in conversations that feel one-sided or undervalued, something deeper begins to happen, not just in the relationship but within you. Silence gives you time to focus on understanding your own thoughts and feelings without external influence. You start noticing patterns in how you've been treated and how you've responded in return. This reflection can often illuminate areas where you've compromised your self-worth or accepted behavior that doesn't align with your values. Pulling back allows you to assess the role you've been playing in the dynamic. Were you over-explaining your perspective? Were you making excuses for someone else's lack of effort? These questions aren't about assigning blame but gaining insight into how you've been navigating the connection. In this silence, you begin to reclaim a sense of control, not over the other person but over yourself. One unexpected benefit of stepping away from constant communication is the chance to re-establish your boundaries. Relationships flourish when both people respect one another's needs and limits. When communication feels forced or obligatory, it loses authenticity. Silence becomes an act of reclaiming authenticity and signaling to others how you expect to be treated. When you stop talking to a man, you're also allowing him to sit with his own discomfort. This is significant because many people use communication to distract themselves from internal work. If there's been unresolved tension or misalignment in your relationship, silence gives both of you space to process it. It's not about leaving someone in the dark but encouraging personal growth on both sides. Sometimes, silence leads to unexpected clarity. Without the noise of constant dialogue, it's easier to see whether a relationship truly serves both individuals. You may find yourself asking, is this connection adding value to my life, or is it draining me? Silence provides the space to answer that question with honesty and conviction. For the other person, silence can act as a reset button. If your communication has become repetitive or stagnant, the absence of words can help recalibrate the dynamic. It creates an opportunity for the man to reapproach you with renewed interest and appreciation, or, in some cases, it highlights where his effort falls short. What's most powerful about stepping away is how it shifts your focus inward. Instead of worrying about how someone else feels or what they might do, you start tuning into what you need. You give yourself permission to nurture your own growth, set new goals, or simply enjoy your own company. So, the next time you find yourself in a situation where communication feels one-sided or unappreciated, consider stepping back. Let silence do the talking. It might just be the most powerful thing you say. This approach isn't about creating distance but about fostering clarity and authenticity. It's about honoring your needs and encouraging others to do the same. Relationships thrive on mutual effort and respect, not on one person carrying the weight of connection. By choosing silence when it's needed, you empower both yourself and the people around you to show up with more intention and awareness. And in doing so, you create space for deeper, more meaningful connections to flourish.